Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I kind of want to talk about how we can build wealth. So we're young, most of us are under 30. Beep, beep. We kind of want to set the foundation so that our kids or grandchildren or great grandchildren don't have to come and work as hard, or just be able to have different opportunities or more opportunities than what we had. So, we kind of have to work on building that generational wealth. Also work on your networking from now, because it's not who you know, is who know you get it through life. Alright, so I could talk about building wealth. So when people hear wealth, the first thing them think about, boy, me not go rich. Me not go rich. Well, me not go say I have rich like Bill Gates rich or Leaching rich. You just need to be comfortable where you can send however how much children you wanna have. Boy, that was hard to take off to let out. How much children you wanna have, I don't know. Send all of them to college without taking loans, or putting yourself into like a ditch where you get bankrupt and all of that. You can comfortable send your kids to college. Your kids can like take time to discover who they are without being forced to become adults earlier than they need to be. So that may I talk about. Just to live comfortable, and your pitney live comfortable, and then your grandpitney can come and live comfortable, and everything live comfortable. Because just like how you have generational wealth, you have generational poverty. Like your grandmother did poor, your mother come poor, you come poor, your pitney come poor. You kind of want to break that chain and set a different foundation for your kids. Alright, so one of the main things I want to talk about in building generational wealth, one of the first thing you need to do, if you are not earning enough, the first thing that you need to do, if you are not earning enough, is to find other sources of income. Either you're going to get a job that pays you more, or you're going to find hustles that bring in extra income. And you see, from that extra income now, you're going to do two things. You're going to either use that income to bring in other income. So, you have more than one stream of income. You have like maybe 2 or 3. Or you're going to use that income to facilitate your emergency fund. No, and everybody have one of that, right? And even me, it took me a while to start my emergency fund because I was not earning enough initially. So like I was earning here, my bills were here. No, let me do it better. I was earning here, my bills were here, and there was not any room for savings or anything like that. One of the things I did was I found other sources of income, which including leaving my job to get a higher paying job. Sometimes you have to do that, and I was comfortable at the job that I was getting less paid. Trust me, I was well comfortable, but I had to do what's best for me. Don't be loyal to no company. So you have to build an emergency fund. What is an emergency fund? For me, my definition is at least 3 to 6 months of what your general expenses would be. So if your expenses normally come to $80,000 a month or $100,000 a month, then you need to have at least $300,000 to $600,000 just to kind of be able to cushion any sudden traumatic event. For example, if COVID and you have to get laid off for like 2 or 3 months, you can pay your bills comfortably without worrying as much where everything will come from. So you need to kind of have that set up so you kind of feel secure, right? So you have one thing, you have the extra income, and then you build your emergency fund. What you do after you start building your emergency fund, you kind of start set like a budget, right? So a lot of people don't have a budget, and even my budget need for work pan, because me ever blow my budget. Like I set my monthly budget. I don't do an annual budget because I recently started to budget, but I set like a monthly budget, and no matter how I set the monthly budget never come out right. It's like accounts, I can never balance it. So me no know, my expense them always come way over. Like I say, alright, my expense them not for pass a amount here. But when I look, my expense them gone way over. And then me I wonder why I'm broke. So you have to set a budget and stick to your budget. So if you are earn $100,000 a month and you set your budget to say, alright, the expense amount come up to 50,000, and you're supposed to have $50,000 leave. You have to set it in a way that at the end of the month you have that $50,000 left. You can't be like me. Do not be like me. People, don't be like me, where if me I earn 100,000 and my expense am 50,000, and then when me do my thing at the end of the month, and me check my account, means say, yo, me have $10,000 left. You cannot be like me. So I need to work on that. That is something I am guilty of. I always go over my budget. So have a budget and stick to it. It's going to be hard, and you have to, it take a lot of discipline. I mean, I have no discipline. Discipline is something me I work on. So you have to set your budget. Another thing that you should do, and people used to call me scammer because I did it and it kind of used to help me, is I have separate bank accounts. So you need to separate accounts. So don't ask me how I go over my budget when I have separate accounts. Because when I quit my day, I use money out of one account because I don't the money in one next account. It's discipline me don't have here, people. So what you need to do, have separate accounts. So you can have 2 to 3 bank accounts. I recommend take them out in different institutions. So you can have one NCB, you can have a Scotia, you can have a CIBC or a First Global, however you want it. It's up to you. Your checking account is a day-to-day account. Always have a checking account because the fees tend to be less. So you have a day-to-day account. That's the account that you use to swipe. You know, you go Starbucks, you draw money, you use that for like a day-to-day spending. Then you have a savings account, which will be like for your emergency fund. Or you can have another account, which would be, that is your emergency fund, and you have like a savings account, which, you know, you can access, but it's not really accessible, if you know what I mean. You can't really just go on it and just use it like that. That I feel like just you putting no money and separate from your emergency money. So you kind of need to have separate account. The main thing that you need to have is an account for spending and an account for savings. So you can have 2 accounts. One for save, one for spend. Keep them at different bank, because if you have 2 Scotia account, one for save and one for spend, chances are you're gonna transfer your saving money to your spending money, and you do it in like instant. But yet if you have a Scotia and an NCB, you know that's take like by the end of business there are a couple hours, so you're not gonna really go through that frustration. No. Another thing you need to do is stop the bleeding. Stop. What I mean by stop the bleeding, let me use a better term. Stop impulse buying. KCN, Clayton, stop the impulse buying. I am doing this video not only for you, but for myself. Boy, if I go on Instagram, if I go on Amazon, if I random Google search me lead me on a website, I'm gonna say, ooh, this pretty. And then I check my account. I say, And then I check how far I'm there from payday. And I say, And then I check if nobody owe me, or I may have no loose money. So I'm say, Listen, stop it. The other day I had to restrain myself by like putting up my card so I don't buy a sheet. And let me tell you, it gets so bad. I know my card number out my head. I know my card number out my head. So this video is not only for you, it is very much for myself. Do not just buy an impulse. Guys, we cannot do it. We have to stop it. You see a new phone, it look nice. Wrong with the old phone? Nothing. Don't buy it. You see a new dress, it look nice. How much clothes you have in your closet where you never wear yet? A lot. Don't buy it. That's me. But I have to buy clothes because I keep gaining weight. But other than that, don't do that. Also, you need to diversify your portfolio. And I don't want to talk about them big word here yet. So before we even start by diversifying portfolio, let's go on where you invest. You have to start investing your money now. So saving alone now will get you wealth. You have to invest your money. So you can do that by buying stocks or investing in real estate or in other business ventures or stuff that can turn over your money. So I know a lot of people who don't really know a lot about stocks, they tend to invest in sell instead in real estate, where you can just they buy a piece of property, then fix it up, then rent it, or they use it for Airbnb, and that also creates another source of income for them, as well as the money I turn over, and they can kind of just put it away for future. I know what people do. They buy stocks, they buy and sell stocks. I know people that flip stocks, like flip them stocks, like not for long term. So like them buy a stock today, and as it go up, them sell it back. So then buy another low stock and stuff like that. I don't know why they do that. I heard that. I don't know a lot about that aspect of it. I have to do more research. But I heard that it's very risky and you can lose your money. But I know that if you're investing in stocks, you put your money aside for at least 5 years to see how well it has grown. I do recommend investing in stocks. You can always open an account with JMMB. I think you only need $10,000 to open a stock account with them. Yeah, and you can start from there, and you can talk to an investor at the bank as well. So while you're doing that, especially when you're just starting out, you don't want to be too risky, right? So before you buy a stock, you want to consult with a financial advisor to see if it's good. You want to check out the company. You want to believe that this company will grow and give you value for your money. So even if you buy the stock for like $1, you spend a 10 grand and buy some shares in that company, you need to make sure that the next 5 years your $10,000 reach at least 100,000, at least that. So you need to kind of do your research in that aspect, and you need to also diversify your portfolio. When I say that, you're not just buying stock, you need to just invest in real estate. So now that your portfolio is growing, you can put some in real estate, you can put some in stock, you can put some all over the place. So you're getting back returns on your investment, not just from one space alone, but from everywhere. Because suppose one failure, you have to kind of do that to make sure that you're set for at least 5 years. And guys, as I mentioned, don't get too risky. Plus, you don't want to touch your investment. You just want to kind of leave them so that they can grow. They always say 5 years minimum. So those are just some of the tips that we can use to create wealth. And this video also is to hold me accountable, so that the next 5 years when I come on YouTube, I can be like, hi guys, guess who just got $1 million off of a stock that I bought 5 years ago. Yeah, and I need to stick to my budget. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You can look out for videos from me every week. As my channel grow, expect the content to be different, but I will keep it professional, because I work in corporate, so I can't be fun like the other people. All right.